of their opposition have come against those two. Frigger
are winning after Farviz Maruf started playing Sri Akaman. And looking at the numbers, West Indies, #1 average of 3. Just to show from where to where they have fallen at the moment, missing out on the World Cup this year. So sad to see the images, the tears up in Zimbabwe. Cricket has taken a huge turn. Look at those numbers for West Indies. 111 wins of 150 games, and at the moment, this is in the first 150 games, just for the reminder of our viewers, at the moment the present team is struggling to get into the World Cup. Sad straight. And Sri Lanka, they're obviously very disappointed not to be there. Since the '96 World Cup, things have started to change.
There's bounce and a big appeal. They're very, very confident. They're going to have to convince their captain to go upstairs here. I think Gurbaz will be reluctant because he's got a few wrong over the course of the series. And this might be a no-go.
Wasn't convincing Ramula Gurbaz's body language. Usually someone who celebrates, but this time he wasn't sure. But what a fantastic delivery by Farid, changing the angle, coming round the wicket. Just enough movement away from the right hand, and take a look at that for bounce. That's not convincing enough, Gurbaz. Good that Afghanistan didn't go upstairs. Take a look at where the ball passes by when Mohammad Rizwan plays the defense, almost in the splice of the bat. That goes to show the amount of bounce, inconsistency.
Yeah, the ball before that one that went past the outside edge, that squatted, kept low. Something that batters really struggle with when there's the inconsistent bounce. Before play today, there was a photograph taken with the entire Afghanistan team and coaching staff just celebrating the momentous occasion that is today. 150 one-day internationals.
Good to see Jonathan Trott with a smile.
A good little hand there from Zadran at backward point. He just nudged it towards the incoming sweeper. So 7 and over from here would see Pakistan get to 249, but I think it's very difficult for us to expect that Pakistan will score at 7 and over from now onwards. I think there would be an acceleration towards the back end, certainly, while there's just 2 wickets down. They've got some exciting batters to come, but I would think anywhere between, I don't know, 220, 230, that might be the number they're looking at.
Looking at the batting card, Saud Shakil, Salman Agha, Shadab Khan, who's in super form, Mohammad Nawaz and Fahim Ashraf batting up to #9. And I think the foundation laid by these 2 batters is quite key in getting the rest of the batters to come out there and play their natural game, to be aggressive. But it's not one of those pitches where you come straight away and go bang bang. It's not going to happen like that. Important that not to target too big. Get a decent score and put the pressure on the Afghans, who are 2-0 down. Remember, it's playing for their pride, trying to win the first game against Pakistan in their history. And Pakistan will be playing this game to win and go to the #1 ranking before the Asia Cup. That will be a major morale booster.
I like this decision from Malik to come around the wicket. I think around the wicket here, as the bounce is a little bit low, you can access the stumps a lot easier. That's wide of off stump. That's not hitting any stumps. End of the 28th. 93 for 2.
Current run rate of 3.3 to be maintained. I think Pakistan is not batting well, but it's a tough pitch out there. The Afghans have been brilliant. This is Babar's second ODI, and today playing in the crease, and today he's coming in front of crease, trying to create that pace. The inconsistent bounce has been an issue. This is what good batsmen do, changing their technique, according to the situation, according to the pitch conditions. And that's why Babar Azam is one of the best names in international cricket at the moment.
Both players against the seam have been standing well outside their crease. Rahmanullah Gurbaz hasn't thought about actually even standing up. I think Farid Malik's probably a little bit too quick for that. But Gulbadin not really. Been nipping it around.
Gulbadin is just like the good old style English seamers. Even the length on an off stump, placed close to 125 kilometers an hour. Enough pace to keep the wicket-keeper interested as well as the batters. And batters trying to put the bowler away from the length, and he has not. Given the same length over and over again.
Extra cover, walking in tight onto the square. Don't want to just give away easy singles. Such a big position, that mid wicket, for an off spinner. That's arguably your best fielder needs to be in there. The South African John T. Rhodes, that's where he used to operate for all the off spinners that played for South Africa. Saved so many runs there.
In great fielders in those positions. Looking at the options, boundary options for the two batters. Babar Azam hardly sweeps. He plays a drop kick over mid-wicket. That's an option with a huge gap between long on and mid-wicket. Or coming down the track and going over mid-off. That's an option too. But for Mohammad Rizwan, he's predominantly like to sweep against the off-spinner. Huge opportunity between deep square leg and deep mid-wicket. Massive gap. Something that he'll be keeping a close eye on.
It's also a stroke that Rizwan likes to play. They might change the field for Rizwan. Mujib for Babar Azam came into square leg, but for Rizwan he now goes back to 45 and the deep square leg. Oh no, they're changing it again. So maybe now they're trying to encourage Rizwan to play that little lap shot. May bring in the LBW. Oh, just short. Nearly worked. So nearly.
Full marks to the wicket keeper and the bowler of Afghanistan. Almost paid out. Mujibur Rahman whisker away. A good effort. Don't think it carried. He had the premeditated sweep shot in mind. Mohammad Nabi not happy. But I tell you what, I think it's a good effort. Just that the ball did not carry to that square leg fielder.
This time he looks to go the other way. Same result, no run into the 29th, 96 for 2.
Did you know that water comes from lakes? So do fish. Fish don't have toilets. Good thing we have Aquasana. It filters out bad stuff, leaving healthy, tasty water. Right, Gilbert?
Now up to 50% off at aquasana.com.
It's made of entirely bedrock and consisting 5 chambers. Beautiful view.
Evening setting in here now in Colombo. Respite from the heat for the players. So again, a change of angle for Farid Malik, coming over the wicket to Babar Azam.
Running out of patience here, Babar Azam coming down the track, but the length wasn't there. The idea was clear, trying to go probably over long on or long off, but the length was not there. Farid Malik, first delivery, changing his angle again, preferably. There you go, coming down the track. The length wasn't there. I like to see him coming round the wicket. That's an attacking angle. At the moment, he's just taking away the right-hander's LBW out of equation. Round the wicket, he can bring into play the LBW as well as the caught behind if there's enough movement off the seam away.
Again, not quite timed, but there's certainly some intent here from the two Pakistan batters. That's going to bring a boundary. And a little bit of relief and a little bit of joy with the 100 coming up.
He felt that Babar Azam was itching for a big shot. This is what classy players do. Even though he's looking for a boundary, it's always with a straight bat and a high elbow. Take a look at this. Any youngster watching, that's how you play. A lofted off drive or lofted straight drive. Wasn't the best of timings, but good enough. Then slightly fuller, and Babar Azam was into it like a pleasure bullet.
Neatly played. Risky stroke with the inconsistent bounce, but he watches it closely.
Again, hallmark of a brilliant player. Boundary followed by a single. Best place to be, the non-strikers in. Brilliant. That's why he's a champion player. In Sri Lanka for the last, 2 months or so. Played 2 test matches up in Galle, up at SSC, plenty of game in the LPL. 8 of them, in fact, in Kandy and Colombo. He's traveling around. In tough works, being away from home, but I'm telling you, he's dishing it out. Captain of Pakistan.
So for Rizwan, Malik does come around the wicket. Has no idea where that went. He's dropped his bat. Whether the physio will be running on the field now or not, because that's hit him quite firmly.
He hit his six-pack. Some bound. Oh no, chest, top edge. He's trying to go be aggressive. With uneven bounce, getting the better of Mohammad Rizwan. I think he's okay. The physio will have a closer look.
I think this hits the top edge and hits him in the chest, and then goes onto the grill of the helmet. And once that happens, then there needs to be that the concussion protocol needs to take place. So a member of the medical staff will run on, but it doesn't appear as though there's a medical staff member that's run on, just one of the substitute fielders.
To show how tough it is for Pakistan. This is the Pakistan's slowest team 100 against Afghanistan, the 6th ODI. Yes, Afghanistan have bowled really well, bowled to their plans, bowled to their field. Inconsistency of the bounce and pace of the pitch has been a real issue. No batter has been in full sail. It's a tester.
Push hard. Rizwan says, come, we're coming for 2. And it ensures that there's a misfield, and so they do get through. It brings up the 50 partnership. It's been slow, but it's been important.
Yeah, slight misfield by Fazal Faruqi at fine leg. Running the first one hard, and Mohammad Rizwan always wanted the second one, and he made sure he came back for it. And Faruqi, in the cardinal mistake, for not keeping close an eye on the ball. Tough work, and in the end, the two batters have put a price on the attack, not giving it away pretty easily.
Dot ball. So after 30 overs, Pakistan, you think they might want to get a move on here. 103 for 2.
Well, 103 for 2 then, 20 overs left. We've had 30, feels like about 50. It has been tough, I have to say. These two, you've got two of the finest one-day players in the world, and they have struggled their way through this partnership. 51 from 105 balls. So that's a reflection of conditions. But if you're going to try and win a match, you have to adapt to those conditions, work out, what's a good score, aim for it, get it, and try and win the game.
Yeah, it has been pedestrian for the batters, no doubt about it. But here is a question for you, David. Is it the case of Afghan bowlers exploiting the conditions well, bowling tightly, or the look of the pitch has belied the behavior?
Do I get a third option? My interpretation is as blunt as this. The pitch has been variable and has been slow. So you see these two unable to time it, but Afghanistan have bowled well. Yeah, I mean, there's still that thing. You've got to then, if you're a bowling attack, you use your resources as best you can. I mean, for instance, and this one has gone fine enough to, should be 2, I think. This may be 3 if they push. Yeah, they're going to push for 3. But the thing is this: if you're Afghanistan in the field here, you play to your strengths. One of your strengths is spin. One of their strengths today actually has been Gulbuddin, who has come into the side for the first time in the series and has hit a length, hit his lines, has enjoyed the uneven bounce from his point of view, because they've really just struggled to get it away. It's cued, drops way short of long.
I just thought of third option. You asked
Good.
for it. Okay. The third option is, you mentioned that the batters, they need to adapt swiftly. Did they?
Well, no, they have struggled. I mean, still struggling. One-handed sweep shot, gets 1. I mean, what we've seen, what have we seen? Let's analyse very briefly what we've seen. 2 left-handers at the top of the innings. Both tried to come down the pitch to create something because they were also struggling to time it. Both got out. These two, again, I repeat, 2 of the finest one-day players in the world, have been coming down the pitch. That's a nice shot. That is a lovely shot, given everything we've talked about. One of those rare shots where actually with that little bit of width outside the off stump, this has been timed sweetly.
Yeah, the reason why he was able to execute that stroke perfectly, a bit of pace behind the ball, and there was bounce. And that's why Babar Azam pounced.
Have we answered the question yet? I've lost track. Have we answered that question? Devendra, what do you think?
Still tying your shoes? It's 2023. Hands-free shoes are the next big thing. No more hands, tying, pulling, heel crushing. And once they're on, they stay on. Don't take my word for it. They have over 13,000 5-star reviews, free shipping, free returns, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. A style or color for every personality. Time to step up your shoe game and step into Kizik's. Get 15% off today at kizik.com/TV.
Firebird, magic in the wings.
I kept seeing this shoe brand all over TikTok. It's called Kizik.
Look at this.
Look at that. These are absolutely amazing. The completely hands-free. They're so easy to get on.
No tying, no pulling, no heel crushing, no hands.
Kizik, they are no ordinary shoe.
Time to step up your shoe game and step into Kizik's. Get 15% off today at kizik.com/TV.
One of the reasons behind the charm. Back to hot and humid conditions in Colombo.
Yeah, the Pakistani batters certainly need those to get some strength here.
Well, anything that brings some timing, some rigidity to the bat, we'll take it. So the bowling figures so far, one thing actually Afghanistan have done differently today, which is good actually, is by using 6, it gives you further options as you get towards the end of the innings. They've run out of options at the end of that game, match number 2, an ultimate over, no names, no pack draw, but it cost them the game in the end. Even then, still had a chance at the final over. So all these lessons are learned each and every day, but so far, Afghanistan have kept things on a very, very tight rein. So the drinks have been taken, and no doubt the dried fruits and the almonds and the saffron, everything else has been taken as well. And we have 19 overs left in this Pakistan innings. Run rate 3.65. Very, very different to Hambantota in that second match especially. Different to Hambantota in that second match especially. So, Rizwan and Barbara have the chance now to try and reset and make a plan for these final 19 overs.
Yeah, what they need to do, both these batters, if they're not finding the boundary, keep on ticking the scoreboard. Display the ball with softer hands, nudge the ball into the gaps and run hard. We haven't seen that consistently.
Right, Mujib is back into the attack as well. 6 overs at the start of the innings. Well, the first ball after the break, after the drinks breaks, disappears. Not only that, it's a no ball as well. So in effect, the over hasn't even started yet.
Was it an early call from the umpire? And Rizwan heard it? I don't think so. That was premeditated. He decided that the ball is going to go towards mid-wicket. There is no fielder present.
It's going to be free hit. Rizwan, 34, looking to accelerate. Looking to put a competitive total. Freedom to express himself. Whacks it to the outside.
He's going to run down.
He will be done.
Yeah, he had the freedom. I thought he was going to run down. So he had the freedom to go down the pitch. What's the worst can happen? And if you miss it, you can't be out. He's gone down the leg side and is called a wide.
I thought the bowler was cleverer. He pissed the ball right up to the batsman, even though he was coming down the track, but wasn't able to form the gap.
Yeah, what Rizwan would have liked to have done, get underneath it, over extra cover or something like that, just to find the boundary. But yeah, that's the tricky thing about it. 3 hits. At the start of the over, those 4 runs off the no ball. gives you a bit of leeway for the rest of the over, and we are already up to 8 from this over, which is completely at odds to everything that we've seen against Mujib start of the game and also in the previous 2 games. It is well bowled. Again, the attempt to come down the pitch completely stymied there.
Well, the one batter batted exceedingly well against Mujib over the years. Down the track, pitch it over extra, runs here. He does well on the boundary.
This time around, Rizwan was able to get underneath the ball to be able to hit the ball aerial. It has been a very good over for Pakistan.
Yeah, just checking this just to make sure there's nothing untoward, but the footwork is good. It's quite deft, actually. So nothing to be, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no need to look at anything else. That's nicely fielded. Boot. Well done.
Yes, I was talking about Paul Sterling from Ireland. 32 overs gone, 124 for 2. So he is someone who stays side. He looks to hit through the offside. Plays him like a medium pace or sweeps. He doesn't go down the track. Not many batters go down the track against Mujib because of his fastest deliveries and variations.
Yeah, all good points. We've seen now that Rizwan, not through desperation, I think there's an element actually of assessing what he needs to try and do. So he's gone down a couple of times. The one time he's got it over extra cover, it's still sort of pitched like a bit of a golf shot with a 7-iron and didn't make the boundary. But Pakistan will be eyeing up. What can they eye up at this rate? 250 would be a hell of a good score from here. And what are the options? 5-0 from here gets you to 214, so that's achievable, I would say. Somewhere in between that and the we saw that to the right of it, 250. Well, I think somewhere in between actually is probably where Pakistan might end up. One-handed sweep shot, full toss low. Ashley times it well enough and gets it fine enough as well to get boundary.
The way these two batters, especially Rizwan after that drinks break, started to improvise. me they are looking for something close to 250.
Well, you can look for it, and if you get it right, what can change, of course, is this: the dynamic can change. So, whereas Afghanistan